Hi, you guys. This is Misty with the Oracle Evolution. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I wanted to, I've been thinking about doing a series related to universal laws. Um, and I've been thinking about it for a while and I've been kind of putting it off and putting it off. Um, and but more specifically, not just like the universal laws that we already see so much of already that are like the typical law of manifestation and law of assumption, but actually there are hundreds of laws, universal laws, and there's a group of laws that are specifically called the laws of life. And that was kind of what I was guided to start with. But again, I've been kind of putting it off and procrastinating a little bit. I didn't know if that was something that I really wanted to focus on, even though it's really good information. But last night, I went to bed. Um, and I thought I was just down for the night, but I happened to wake up a couple of hours later and I just couldn't go to sleep. I picked up the Bible and just opened it up, and it actually opened up to like Ezekiel 30, 33:3. And I read until Ezekiel 33:33. And aside from those numbers kind of standing out, what really stood out was um, one of the things that was mentioned in the in the verse had to do with the children of Israel following the laws of life. So I kind of took that as a sign that perhaps I am supposed to go ahead and share about the laws of life with you guys. And it's just something that I think will help us along in our spiritual journey. Just something that we can refer back to help guide us as needed. Obviously, if it's something that you don't need, then obviously you wouldn't watch the video. But it really is interesting and things, I just love learning about. Um, I just love learning, period. So, anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy. I'm going to start off today with the law of warning. So that's the first one that I kind of that really stood out to me because I want it to be something there. Like I said, there are hundreds of laws, and some of them are kind of common sense or repetitive. And so I wanted to focus more on the laws that I would say, I just find them more interesting. So there's no like right or wrong way or, right or wrong laws to focus in on or hone in on. If you want to start looking up and reading about some of those yourself, but, I'm just kind of picking out the ones that I think that really stand out for me. And again, I was starting off with the laws of life. It's called the laws of life. So the first one is the law of warning. And this one, I found it really fascinating because I've found myself like, it's kind of like, hindsight 2020. Like, had I known about that law before, I think it would have made a huge difference. Just throughout my journey. And the law of warning is basically saying that when you are heading down like a path that's not really meant for you, or you're heading down a path that might lead to suffering or pain for you, the universe loves you so much that the universe will redirect you. God is going to redirect you away from the pain, so that you don't walk into that pain and you don't have to deal with unnecessary suffering. Um, and I can think of numerous examples in my own personal life where I have received lots of warnings from God, from the universe, like to, hey, turn around, you're going in the wrong direction. Sometimes I, followed those warnings, and sometimes I've not. And basically, what ends up happening is okay, so the law, with the law of warning, you get warnings from God, from the universe. And the warnings are really subtle. So it's not like something that's just gonna like slap you in the face like, hey, turn around. It's gonna be something subtle. And when I say that it's subtle, like, you don't even realize that it has to do with the direction that you're trying to choose. So let me go ahead and give a couple of examples, okay? So let's say you decide that you're not happy in the job that you're in. Maybe you don't feel appreciated. So you decide, okay, you start looking at other jobs and you find some jobs that are going to pay you um, a salary of 10,000 more than what you're already making. And you have an opportunity to, just be in a different environment, maybe, maybe where you'll feel like you're more appreciated, or if you're not appreciated, at least you make more money or something like that, right? So you find some jobs that fit the description and you apply to them and you have interviews. Okay. So, first interview you go to and you can't find your keys anywhere. Like, you're looking everywhere, you can't find your keys, and you end up late to the interview. Okay. Or in the next job interview, same thing happens, right? Like, maybe it's not that you can't find your keys, maybe you come outside and your tire is flat, okay? And because what happens is you're going to keep getting warnings. If you don't heed the warnings, it's going to kind of repeat. Like, you're going to keep getting some warnings, and it's like where you're like, why does this keep happening to me? What's going on? Why does this keep happening? If you find yourself in any type of cycle where you're asking why things like this always happen to me, then you may want to take a pause, just take a break, and think about, what is the universe trying to warn me about? What is the universe trying to keep me from, following through with? Um, I mean, I can recall, I had a meeting for work, and it was, long story short, it was really just a job that it was never meant for me to be there. But I had a meeting, and I mean, a tire flew back and hit my car, hit the windshield, the windshield and the hood of my car. So I actually, I was just shaken, and it really wasn't meant for me to attend that meeting for, for whatever reason. And so you get like these repetitive things that just kind of happen. They don't really have anything to do with whatever it is that wherever it is that you're going. Um, but they kind of block you. They kind of stop you from following through, or even if it doesn't stop you, it kind of delays you from whatever it is that you're trying to do. Another example would be, like, you've planned a trip, you want to go on a trip, and your flight is delayed. Okay. Finally, I don't know, it's so delayed, you decide to drive, and maybe there are no rental cars. Like, it's like something where the universe is stopping or blocking or delaying you from doing something that you really want to do. And oftentimes we see it as like, why is this happening to me? Because we don't see, like, we can't see the bigger picture, right? So let's go back to the example with the job. And you're going to these interviews and you're losing your keys and you're having a flat tire. You're not feeling like you're doing your best because you're coming in late. Um, and but you know what? You get hired anyway, and you take the job, and come to find out the environment is much worse than where you already were. And it's not worth the extra $10,000 that you get. And on top of that, you come to find out that had you stuck it through for maybe 3 more months or 6 more months, your boss wasn't telling you that you were about to get promoted, and you were going to make double your salary, right? So it's just like, it's things that you're being blocked from something and you don't know why. Only the universe, only God really knows why. It could be because you're going down the wrong path and you're being protected from something, or you're about to veer off course and it's going to change just kind of your life path, your destiny, your, something like that, and it's going to, cause delays in whatever you're, supposed to be doing with your life. So usually you get signs that are really repetitive. They don't really seem to have anything to do with anything. It just, like, sometimes there are things that we write off as like, oh man, I'm just having bad luck, or, whatever. And it can be for more than a job. It can be for more than like a trip that you have planned. It could be if you've ever found yourself saying, why do I always attract this type of man? Or why do I always attract this type of woman? um there's something that the universe is trying to warn you about, or deter you from, or keep out of your life, and you just kind of have to slow down and reflect on that. And what happens is when we decide that we're going to date that person anyway, we're going to take that job anyway, we're going against the law, right? So we're resisting the law, and then we end up suffering as a result. And I can definitely attest to that. Um, but if we can just kind of go with the flow and recognize that it's out of love, and that perhaps there's something that we don't see, that we're being protected from something, or or something like that, and just kind of go with the flow, you are going to remain more in that state of being happy or content, or it's going to lead you down that path if you're, patient and just kind of wait it out. So that was the first law that I thought was really interesting. It has a lot, for me, it has a lot to do with like just following your intuition, listening to your intuition, listening to your instincts. When things don't feel right for some reason, just listening to that and being able to trust it, and letting go of your fears, right? Because and we want to also be careful, because when we have like the law of warning, we have to be careful that we don't confuse that with a fear, because another thing about the law of warning, it's not, those warnings don't have anything to do with your feelings. Like, you losing your keys, that's not a feeling, that's just something that happened, right? You lost your keys. You feeling like your tummy's getting all bubbly or something like that before an interview, that's probably, more of a fear, that's fear based, which oftentimes that just means that, you need to just kind of face your fear. Okay. um the flight being delayed, that's not a feeling. So just kind of be careful with, oh well, I feel this kind of way, or I always feel this type of way, before I get on a plane or whatever. That's more of, I would say that that's more of a fear, fear, something fear based, that you just, you kind of have to work out, why do you go through that fear, and just kind of work that out. I wouldn't consider that part of the law of warning. So, anyways, um, that is basically the gist of the law of warning. Um, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there. And each week I'm going to do just a different law, something that I think is important for us to know about. Because basically, when you are going with the flow and when you're following those laws that have to do with, universal law, the law of life, it basically leads us down through our purpose and our mission, which has to do with loving ourselves and loving one another, and being of service to one another. And basically, we're meant to be here, and we're meant to be happy and be at peace with ourselves and with one another. And I think, personally, I think that if we become aware of what those laws are, and we follow those laws, that it will make a huge difference in our lives. It will make a huge difference just going throughout our spiritual journey. So, to make them a whole lot easier. So, anyways, that's what I have for that with the law of warning. I will see you next time. Thank you for being here. Again, I'm Misty with the Oracle Evolution. Please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you love it, if you like it, even if you don't. See you next time. All right, bye.